Hola clase, hoy vamos a aprender de los reflexivos. Today we're doing reflexive verbs. Okay, los verbos reflexivos act just like a present tense. You just still conjugate the verb, but you have to use now a reflexive. What's a reflexive? Something you do to yourself. Some verbs are, if you use them without, they mean to put or place. This one means to put or place. Once you put the reflexive pronoun on it and use it reflexively, it's something you do to yourself. So ponerse no longer is just put or place, it's to put on yourself. Like to put on your jacket. Me pongo la jaqueta. Okay, so when we use our verb, we have to know our reflexive pronoun first. They're called los complementos reflexivos in Spanish. And they're in the very same position, first, second, third person singular, first, second, third person plural, that you would use with a present tense verb. Okay, and you can use reflexives in all tenses, but we're just learning present. Okay, so you have the reflexive pronoun. Me means to myself. Okay, te, to yourself. Se, something you do to yourself, to him or to her, okay? So he would do it to himself, she would do it to herself, okay? So that's se, then nos, os, se. This is to ourselves. This one is to yourselves, okay? So to him, self was this one, and to her self, or to yourself, and then this one's to themselves, or to yourselves if it's the ustedes. Okay, so you have to memorize. Hay que memorizar. Me, te, se, nos, os, se. Now, what do? We have placement rules. Just two basic rules. If you are conjugating the verb in the present tense, all you do is the pronoun matches the tense of the verb. So if you conjugate the verb lavarse, which means to wash yourself, all you do is put the pronoun before the conjugated verb. Me, in the yo form, that would be lavo. Right? Te lavas. Se lava. So what goes here? Nos lavamos. Os laváis. Se lavan. Okay? Me lavo. Now something they do a little bit different in Spanish than they do in English. They say, me lavo la cara. You don't say, I wash my face. You say, I wash myself, the face, but you don't translate it. Translates, I wash my face. So if you say, me lavo la cara, you're using the article here, not the word my. And if you used the word, I wash my face, me lavo mi cara, a native speaker would just notice that's not the exact grammar that they use, not the exact way that they would say it. If you've ever heard a foreign exchange student speak, sometimes they will say something and it's kind of cute. It's not quite the way, so you can, but it's not a horrible egregious error. It's just the way they would do it. Okay? So me lavo la cara. I wash my face. That's how that translates. Okay, now that's the number one rule. Remember, your pronoun matches the tense of the verb. So me can only go with lavo. Te can only go with lavas. Se can only go with lava or lavan if it's, okay, so you get the idea. Now, the second rule here is that, okay, the first one is it goes before the conjugated verb. That's always an option. The second option is it can attach to an infinitive or a gerund. It can also attach to an affirmative command, but we're not doing those today, so we're not going to worry about that. Okay, so it can attach. If you have a verb phrase, a verb expression that is, I'm going to wash my face, you would use the ir plus the a plus the infinitive. So here we have an infinitive. So if you're going to do it in the yo form, yo voy a, and then, sorry, you need the infinitive of lavar, lavarme la cara. In this case, you have a verb expression here, and in that verb expression, you have an infinitive. So you can put it, yo voy a lavarme la cara. Now, if you're unsure, oh, I'm not sure where to put it, nothing goes in between the ir plus the a, okay? So what if you don't know, and you've got the voy, you can always, that's a conjugated verb, you can always put me voy a lavar la cara. Just don't do both. Me voy a lavarme would not work. Just me voy a lavar la cara or voy a lavarme la cara. Okay, now I don't know if you guys remember from last year, if you learned the gerund, the present progressive, I'm washing my face. You can also put it on the ing. You can say, that one would be estar plus the ndo, right, endings. So you can say, in the yo form, yo estoy lavándome la cara. Okay, so you can attach it to the ing here as well. If you're unsure of yourself, you can always put it before, just don't use both, before the conjugated verb. Me estoy lavando la cara. You know, what people traditionally do, what the error they make, is what if we put this one in the nosotros form? Okay, nosotros, we have the vamos a lavar. Now what happens to that pronoun? Remember, it has to agree with whatever the subject is. Vamos a lavar nos la cara. Okay? Here, it would be, if we're going to put this in the we form, we would say, estamos lavando. Most people will keep this in the se. It has to agree. It can't say, estamos lavando se. You have to say, estamos lavando nos. Okay? So we are washing our faces. Okay, that's what you're saying. We're washing, and it doesn't translate that way, but that's the way it would, if loosely translated. It's not word by word. Okay, now, what happens if you have a verb that is a stem-changing verb? If your verb is a stem-changing verb, it still is in the reflexive pronoun. All you do is put the pronoun before the conjugated verb. Me acuesto, te acuestas, se acuesta, nos acostamos, os acostáis, se acuestan.